Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be practicing finding phase shift from sinusoid equations. If you want to follow along, the links to the companion worksheet are in the description below. Also, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the videos that we have coming out from this channel. So let's get started. Now the phase shift is really just the idea of a horizontal translation, that is left or right. And so what we're looking for is we're looking inside the function. And particularly we're looking at this part right here. And we're asking what is being added or subtracted from x. And so in this case we are adding 4. And so the phase shift, this means that we're going to move 4 to the left. Now some people, they don't add in the description. For some people what they say is, they say the phase shift is just simply -4. Because the idea is that if you move something to the left, its x value goes down. Whereas if you move it to the right, it goes up. So a phase shift to the right is considered positive, a phase shift to the left is considered negative. So looking at the second one then, here we are subtracting 3. So here our phase shift is going to be 3 to the right. Or you could just say more simply 3. Now one thing that these first two have in common is that a number is being multiplied onto this quantity, but it's already been factored out. But if you look at number 3, you see that you're multiplying a number onto x. And so at first glance it would seem like 21 is the phase shift, but actually it's not. What we have to do is we have to factor out that 3. So if we divide a 3 by 3x, right, we get x. If we divide minus 21 by 3, we get minus 7. So this right here, that is our phase shift. So this means we have a phase shift of 7 to the right. Or, if you're not avoiding the description, it's just 7. So looking at number 4, this one's a little bit more complicated because here we're multiplying x by pi over 6. So that means we have to factor that out. So we have pi over 6, and then we have this quantity. Now if we divide pi over 6x by pi over 6, we're left with x. If we divide pi by pi over 6, what would that look like? Well, let's write it over here. Pi divided by pi over 6. Well, we're dividing with a fraction. So what that means is we're going to really multiply with a reciprocal. So we'll multiply by pi by 6 over pi. And so what ends up happening is the pi's cancel out. And so all we're left with is 6. So that is what goes right there. And so by doing that, we see that our phase shift is 6 to the left. Or just -6. And so looking at this last one, here with this last one we have 7 pi over 6x plus 7 pi over 2 on the inside. Again, the 9, the 6, not interested. The only important information when finding phase shift is right inside here. So we're going to factor out that 7 pi over 6. So if I divide this by 7 pi over 6, we're left with just x. Now I need to take 7 pi over 2 and divide by 7 pi over 6. So here again, I'm going to have to multiply 7 pi over 2 by the reciprocal, 6 over 7 pi. But thankfully, 7 pi's cancel out. So we end up with just 6 over 2, which is 3. Now keep in mind that what we factored out had a plus sign. So that means this is x. I'm going to keep it as x plus 3. So looking at that, once we factor out the 7 pi over 6, this means that our phase shift is going to be 3 to the left. Or, if you do it without the description, it's just -3. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have suggestions or problems you want to see worked out, type a comment below. To support the channel, click the Patreon link to help keep this going. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, the best way to understand something is to do it.